Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Let your whole body weight go down and gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound and follow the sound, please. So while you focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts, and let everything to settle down as it is. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So dear Dhamma practitioners, in this meditation session, we mainly going to practice samatha meditation and the vipassana meditation. So this samatha and vipassana both go together. Through the samatha meditation or the samatha mental culture, it develops your mind to tranquilize, bring the calmness and to stay in one place and make your mind more usable. So, and through the vipassana, so using that calmness, so using that tranquility state, we thoroughly, deeply and observe and recognize it through nature. So when it comes to samatha, so another meaning, it's kind of like a settle down, allowing to settle down. So then when it comes to meditation, always remember, it is not gaining something or it is not doing something. Because that is the very nature of our conventional life. So when it comes to the meditation also, if you do the same thing, then what is the different? So mostly that when we come to the posture, you shut down your bodily activities and verbal activities. But in day-to-day life, our mental activities are more stronger, more powerful, and it has a more deeper current. So your thoughts kind of like the wind, and your physical and verbal actions kind of like waves. And sometimes you think that when the waves shut down, the wind going to be okay. No. So then when it comes to meditation, remember what we going to do. We're going to deal with the wind. So when the wind shut down, what will happen to the waves? Waves not going to come when there is no wind. So then always remember that you see the worldly nature because of this deeper inside us, there is a strong wind. So the samatha meditation means, another way, you allowing you settle down that wind to neutralize. So that neutralizing is a method you developing that little by little through practice. And the waves that became so stronger so far in the world, also it happened little by little. We didn't see it. So then now what we're trying to do, we're trying to reverse the current. So that's why when there is a moment come to stay without doing anything, for some people, they cannot understand what it is. Because we, from birth, we start to do things, especially mentally. So then when it comes to tranquility meditation, remember, so try to understand that what is meditation, because we cannot, otherwise we cannot teach meditation, do this way, do that way, like that. So when you have to understand the meaning of the meditation. So then you remember, you settle down the wind. That's mean thought currents. So for that, then you cannot keep thinking. You have to stop thinking. How you can stop thinking? Because that you cannot just by commanding and demanding, resisting, you cannot do it. So that's why you need a mental object. So as our primary mental object, we take our inhalation, exhalation. So then keep focus to the inhalation, exhalation, no matter what, again and again. And you just keep focus to inhalation, exhalation. And without maintaining it, without dreaming about it, without thinking about it, without adding any past experience to it, without comparing, just keep focus again and again, again and again. Just see only the inhalation, exhalation. So once you decide to do that, and then stay with that, your decision. So then, whatever the mind, naturally the thoughts, because it already they're happening within us, it's always go here and there, it is okay. But yourself now, you decide to stay with the inhalation, exhalation. So then you follow that. Then little by little, your mind, your thought start to settle down with it. So that is tranquility meditation. So when it comes to that, you observe in the surface level, this is inhalation, this is exhalation. This is the beginning, middle, and end of the inhalation or exhalation. Through the sensation of it, not by imagination. And sometimes you may experience inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, like that. You just keep follow and observe and stay only with the inhalation, exhalation. So then when the mind settles down little by little, in that calmness, in that tranquility state, we go to vipassana level. So when it comes to vipassana, that the very meaning of the vipassana is a Pali word. So vipassana is see, analyzing. Vipassana is seeing, analyzing, recognizing. So when it comes to recognizing means not by with the ideas that you have within yourself. That is the different. That is the very difficult part even to understand. But if you get it, it totally you're going to come to a different kind of understanding. Because recently I was looking this word and the history and how this came and what is the real, because in the journey through this 2600 years, and it had different meanings to this, and especially when it translate to English, and it used to translate according to the words that they had through the Bible. And so that words mostly they used to introduce this all the Buddhist spiritual or the religious word or the meanings. So it has a kind of like that influence. But somehow when you go to the original meaning of the vipassana, so the seeing, there are different seeing that you can. So when it comes to this vipassana, it is not you just see like this is a pen. So that also you see, and you can see this as a pen, and everybody see this as a pen. But to see this way, as recognized as a pen, so what happened, even though we didn't see, we had the past experience regarding the pen. So when we see this, what happened? Our past experience recognize this as a pen. So that is what happening when we see this, all everything, even the people and anything, whatever we see, always it has a interconnection and relationship with our past experience. So that is a common scene, say that the scene. But when it comes to vipassana, you see this not by your past experience. You see this with the analytical mind, and you don't have a previous that already that the set up ideas regarding this. You are completely free, and then you start to observe the behavior of this, and it doesn't matter how many times that you have seen this, but in this very moment when you recognize this, and you completely become free from your all the memories, and then you start to observe this, and according to its own behavior, that is where you can recognize how this come to be as this is. So that is vipassana. So when it comes to that, so now in conventional way that we know our inhalation, exhalation. So even to recognize as inhalation or exhalation, we come with our previous experience. But when you observe the inhalation, exhalation in vipassana way, you don't bring any previous experience to the moment, and you recognize it completely in according to the present moment. So in that condition, so whatever happened according to that, you recognize it, and without claiming it as your recognition, and also without holding it, or without comparing it, or without resisting it. So that's how when it go to the deeper level of vipassana, this means seeing, observing, analyzing. So without any view, without any resistance, without any personal interest. So like that, you just see it to recognize, and at the same time, in that very moment, you are fully activate. Your mind 100% awake. In that awaken, that sometimes it's not going to happen in the beginning, but little by little, if you try to to practice it, what will happen? The mind start to develop it, to open to the highest. So that is what this meditation, that's why we keep practice, because again and again, when you do it, what happening, you become good at it. So same like when you become more deeply and thoroughly and observe and recognize, little by little you able to gain this to yourself. So today we're going to observe the four elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So in the beginning, we observe it with in the Vipassana level, we observe the inhalation, exhalation, because it is primary mental object, and we practice it with the tranquility meditation. It is more familiar for us. So observe the very nature of the inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, we able to see inhalation, exhalation, the beginning, middle, end, and some inhalation longer, shorter, heavy, soft, or like that. These all qualities. So the quality always come out of the dualistic mind. But when it comes to the nature, there is no comparison. So all these four elements inherent, all the inhalation, exhalation, or all the sensation arise out of the four elements. So it is the inherent nature. You cannot compare it to something. When it comes to the heat, you cannot compare it to something else. You can experience it as a complete entity. So heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So when the inhalation, exhalation happen, rather than recognizing it as inhalation or exhalation or the beginning, middle, end, or rather than recognizing it a long, short, heavy, soft like that, just see, is there any heat or motion or any watery or liquidity nature that you can recognize, any hardness that you can recognize. Maybe it will come and it's not going to stay too long. Suddenly it will disappear. But it is okay, just wait. Sometimes it's like a rainbow. It appear, it's not going to be for long, maybe. It's going to disappear, but just wait. Learn to observe, because deeply it always happening. Somehow something out of this four, one thing always going to be higher. So sometimes when the mind is not sharp, we cannot get it. It is okay, but keep focusing. Then sometimes what is happening, your entire body start to feel as one. So maybe your whole body start to feel the same quality. Like as example, your whole body feel like heavy, like an iron ball. See that even though it has other nature, but one nature going to be higher. And sometimes your entire body feel like cloudy and wind. When the inhalation, exhalation happens, you don't feel heaviness, but you feel the whole body just moving like wind up and down. So like that, some nature can appear in your whole body maybe. Just observe. And when you keep observe, because this is the nature, that actually it is not physical, the outside nature. It is mental nature. When you go deeper, your mind able to recognize things through these four elements. So what is happening now when you sharpen and when you become more focused in your mind, there is one quality going to be higher. That's why you see, as example, I observing and I feel like my whole body heavy. So then it is, I feel like it is a separate, it's not kind of like my mind. I feel like my whole body kind of like an iron ball. I really feel it physically, but it is not like that. Your body just the same way, the blood flow the same way, your body just have the same weight, but the mind take it as a different way. So the inhalation, exhalation the same. So now you get a kind of idea when the inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. In the vipassana level, you don't take it as the separate outside situation. So you recognize it as a mental condition. As example, it like this: when the so if your mind is heavy and you feel like long inhalation, but it is actually when it comes to the real inhalation, it is nothing. It's the same inhalation. But according to the mental condition, you feel it as a long inhalation. You can get it only in the vipassana level. Even in tranquility state, in the samatha meditation, you don't recognize it like that. So, and sometimes you feel short inhalation. Actually, it is not a short inhalation. It as an example, the same length. Your inhalation, exhalation had the same length materially, but you feel it as a short inhalation, exhalation. It according to your mental condition. So like that, mostly that whatever we see and we become happy, we become sad, worry, and mostly more than the outside situation. If you deeply observe, it is a more deep psychological, analytical method. But in the vipassana, the practice, that is where you touch. So mostly when you experience that things, as example, the same pen, and you may like it. That likeness come actually, and maybe you think you can write so well, and it give a good grip, and it feels so comfortable for you. So like that. Actually, sometimes you hate this pen, but that likeness or the dislike, maybe in conventionally we explain as a physical material outside conditions, but it all finally, when it come to the reality, the deeper, the ultimate truth, everything we experience, just imagine this, everything, whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this everything we experience is a mental quality, and that mental quality change according to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, and through that you grab it. And sometimes when the hardness, when according to the mental quality, you grab the hardness, because the mind is, there is no such a thing called the mind. The mind is all out of these four elements, this mind appear. So when the hardness, the quality higher, so whatever come to your mind, it's more like rough and hard, heavy. And maybe your mind is become more soft. And in that very moment, whatever come to you, more comfortable, relaxed, and soft. So that's why it say, If you want something from somebody, ask when that person in a happy mood. What is that mean? Well, that is a mental condition. So like that, observe when it come to inhalation, exhalation, rather than recognizing it as inhalation, exhalation, long, short, heavy, just observe the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So whatever you can catch, just recognize that's enough. Or maybe, or whatever come as a perception, or whatever you feel all over your body, or any feelings arise, even any thoughts, just recognize that whatever the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Even in the surface level, just recognizing enough in the beginning. But it is more deeply when it comes to the vipassana. This most deeply when you go with these four elements. The finally, it is nothing to do with this outside nature. It is a mental quality. That is how your mind grab this entire universe. So all the colors, the pictures, the like, dislike, that everything that get out of this heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So when it come to the liberation, what is happening? You able to balance heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness in your mind to the same level. That is where your perception going to become that more clear. So just practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So bring your attention to your body. Scan head to toes yourself 3 times, please. And say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. And after that, observe the four elements within your feelings or the perceptions or the sensations. So bring your attention in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please. Observe your inhalation and exhalation. Just recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation, and build up a solid foundation with the tranquility state of your mind. Recognizing this is rising, this is falling, and follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. And some inhalation may experience as longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Observe the four elements within your inhalation, exhalation, or any perceptions, or any feelings, sensations, whatever available. Just recognize and move forward. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light to entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. So, mentally, repeat after me with clear intention. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. And expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Visualize yourself and send it as a light forward to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to this human life, knowingly or unknowingly, that our life every day keep grasping, holding, and moving forward with the desires. So sometimes in life, some people that feel this is enough. I don't like this anymore. Some people hate. Some people more like. And some people feel kind of like more difficult. So some people resist. But somehow this keep happening. Again and again, again and again keep happening. So how this is happen? Why this is? Because if there is no creator, if there is no somebody behind us hold this all, and there is no any power to put us, keep us in positions again and again, so then how this is happen? Because one, if you cannot see it, always you go to the other believings and start to thinking, oh, this is doing somebody or something. Oh, this is happening because of the karma. Oh, this is because happening because of somebody else authority. So how this is happening? And why this is happening? Why this is keep happening again and again, again and again? Look at the world today, even we come to the knowledge. When it comes to average knowledge, day by day, people, this intelligent quotient, EQ, become more higher, more higher, more higher with children. But still, whatever the all the people in the society, the educated people, they also gain the greed, hatred, and the delusion, and the anger, jealousy, frustration, and also the stress and the anxiety, depression. How possible? If they are so intelligent, why they cannot even maintain their own mind to certain level to keep the peace and harmony, calmness? And why they even come to a position to just like ordinary people, and then everybody, even though they go higher, everybody in a certain level, everybody just kind of like ordinary people. So that's been through education or through the positions, and sometimes it's not going to happen. It's not going to change anything. You have to understand that. Even as presidents, it's not going to make any big difference, kind of like that the in a family husband wife arguments or the neighbors arguments. So look at that. I think you watch that the president debate. You know, it is a good example. It doesn't matter you become who, you know, whoever. It's the same kind of like the people, like ordinary people. It's not going to change any behavior when it comes. Even just not going to listen little bit. It's kind of same like we you know argue with the husband wife, with the neighbors, or even in a, you know, you go to market or the bank or any public place, see how people argue each other and no one want to listen. It's everywhere. So how then, where are we where are we going to change? What is we lacking? What we missing? Because from the education, when you parenting, remember that whatever you give to children, and if that child going to become the highest that child go in a ordinary society to become the president, and becoming a president in just imagine, then not like in another country. When you become a president in America, the most of people, start to watch. And that the reason that debate was, all over the world, most of the people watch that one of the television program, the most of the people watch. So let's imagine your child, your that relative, somebody become kind of like that person. So then you're going to give an example, you're going to give a kind of like something, you have to show something special inside you. So even as an ordinary person, end of the day, whatever that you do, when you go to sleep, how you go to sleep? When you close your eyes, how you going to settle down with yourself? Remember, it is a more spiritual foundation. If you don't develop any spiritual foundation, it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter whatever the education, it doesn't matter where you going to end your life. It always going to collapse. Say that the Michael Jackson used to sleep in a bed worth $90,000 worth bed. He used to sleep, but still he used to take sleeping pills. That's how the life. Why? It doesn't matter who you are, maybe. The Elvis Presley, and he had, the success in an ordinary life, there is no still kind of like a person reached to that level, See, it is more higher in a conventional life, but still, he was not a kind of like a happy person to experience that anything. How it is possible? This is this is lessons that giving through humanity. It is nothing to do kind of like a spiritual practice. No, it is giving a lesson through ordinary life. So then you have to remember, it doesn't matter who you are, even when you teach to your children. So whatever that children want to become in the future, so whatever they go, and they have to develop the hand, that's mean work, properly work, and not only that, the head and the heart. So these all three should connect each other, and that's mean that ability to do things, and the think ahead, and also the spiritual foundation. What is the spiritual foundation? What that the spiritual foundation take us? Where it take us? The spiritual foundation take you to the moment to experience to the highest. That is where the spiritual life take you. Whatever the moment. The moment mean when you take out the timeline from past and the future, the moment you exist. Because it is not we cannot tell it as a present moment, because it is not like a past and the future. It is not a kind of like there is no present solid moment you're going to experience. But we take as the present moment that whatever the timeline we take out from the past and the future. So that whatever you experience, your spiritual life take you, uplift your mind to a capacity to experience it to the highest. Just imagine why we keep repeating things, why we keep going towards something, because we didn't experience to the highest. Why? Because there are reasons. One is fear, deeply inherent, that we become this in this samsara. There is one of the reason that we are become human like this, and we keep going like this. We have deeper fear to hold into existence, to become. We are afraid not to become. We are afraid not to be anybody. If you look deeply yourself, and even sometimes it is for conventional life, conventional mind, you cannot sometimes get it. That much it make you frightened, afraid, paralyzed. That's why deeply you are holding to this existence. Fear. The most of the things, it is not a conventionally that we are afraid for something. No, it is not like that. When it comes to deeper, that when you analyze the fear, the mostly we study because of the fear. Mostly we do job because of the fear. Mostly we get married because of the fear. Mostly we have children because of the fear. Mostly we collect money because of the fear. Mostly we do meditation because of the fear. Mostly we become spiritual because of the fear. So like that, look, fear everywhere. So is there any way that for your mind come to a point to be free from the fear? No, any fear. Just imagine. It doesn't matter you become or not. It doesn't matter you die or not. It doesn't matter that whatever the people that accept you or not. It doesn't matter for anything. Just imagine for a moment why this whole life become a struggle. And look everywhere we look, we see the conventionally, the success, education, and the uh, development, this everything, the power, everything. When it comes to that, even the spirituality that we develop in conventional life, mostly because the fear. That is a one reason we cannot experience something to the highest. Why? Because deeply we wounded, deeply we program, deeply we born with inherent fear. So as example, it like this. So in a family, you in a conventional life, you just live like a just normal person. Then your parents come and tell, hey, you have to find a job and you have to do this, you have to go to school and do this. And then you deeply that you start to develop the fear. And then you do that things. And then from the society and then others, everybody start to push you to marry. And then you get married. And then after you marry, then they say one day you're going to get old and this, that, you have to have a child. So then you have an inherent fear. Do you think with that inherent fear, when a child born, when there is a child, that child a byproduct of the fear. That is where you have to understand. So then when that child come to this world, that child come as a result of a fear. So then when it come to life, that we all children from our parents, and how we know that our parent had the free mind, or that the complete satisfaction, or if they had the fear, how we know? Look into it deeper in you, you will see. It's like a mirror. You are, your behavior, it's a kind of like a behavior that you are a mirror of your parents. And it's in blood. It's a deeper lesson, but it is worth to understand yourself. It is in your blood. So as you know that if the child, when the child in the mother's womb, if the mother was not happy, this is, this all is uh, related to psychology that people know that. But if the mother is not happy, if the mother not satisfied, and then that child going to be with the greed, hatred, and the delusion. And as you know, sometimes in our countries, when there is a pregnant mother in a village, everybody like to give things to that mother, the whatever she like to eat. Why? It's not like make to mother satisfied. It's nothing to do with the mother. No, because if the mother not satisfied, that's mean the child not going to be satisfied. So unsatisfied child can destroy the entire village. And how about that child got hungry and not feed with the taste or the desire, even in the mother's womb, and when he come out with the anger, it is a byproduct of the hunger. So that is what, then what will happen? So that's why even in the mother's womb, people feed and make that child keep happy. But mostly when it come to, how we know what the condition that had with our parents and even in their lifestyle. So it is, one thing is the fear that not allow us to experience something. That is where that we keep chasing, keep going. So that is one of the reason the circle of samsara moving. So then remember yourself. Even at least that's why we get the perception that we have the precepts, and that is why we follow the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, and we sacrifice our life towards the Buddha, and that is where that we keep our life to the highest with the faith and conviction. So, and then you're not afraid to go towards it. So then always remember, when you sit for meditation, even for a moment, get out of the fear. Even in day-to-day life. So whatever the good things that you do, and whatever the profitable things that you do, in the very first thing that you have to do, remember, develop. It is you cannot do it. Somehow it is somewhere, maybe you don't see that much, it is invisible. But little by little, if you able to look, you can find. But remember, get out of the fear. When you experience something, get out of the fear. That is where you going to experience something to the highest. This is what happening. When you experience something to the highest, 100%, you're not going to repeat it. When you experience something to the highest, there is no any interest to repeat it. That is a quality of this mind. But why we keep repeating? Because we didn't experience to the highest. So when it comes to the vipassana, and another thing is why there are some other reasons. That one is the fear, another one is the emotions. Emotions not allow us to experience something as it is. Emotions disturb us. So in tranquility meditation, that's why it helps you to settle down the emotions. So that is where the discipline play the big role. And when you develop the self-discipline, when you become little bit hard on you, that is another the pillar that you develop to experience something to the highest. So one is the fear, another one is the emotions. Another one is that why we cannot experience something to the highest. Our own past experience, that is come as a self-view or mental formations or defilement, or we call sanskara, our past previous experience. So those are the mainly three pillars that not allow us to experience something to the highest. Fear and the emotions and our previous experience. So when these three things come together, and it is called Chandaraga, that is a kind of like a huge current. It's like a tsunami. And that tsunami go through your form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. Your moment by moment experience have these all three qualities: fear, emotions, past experience, or the mental formations, or the defilements. But still, it doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't matter how strong that waves, but still, that everything can calm down through clear perception. That is the power of vipassana. When you able to develop the art of seeing without getting disturbed from your own fear, your own emotions, your own defilement, in that very moment, the whatever experience you through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, in that moment of perception that come to you, you're going to experience it to the highest 100%. In that very moment, there is no repetition come as a desire. That is where you get out of it. You experience, that's it. Why? You experience it to the highest. Once you experience it to the highest, that is where you complete. In that completion, there is no any chance for the fear, for emotions, or past experience. So then you expand the timeline or the, the capacity to experience it again and again and again and again. That is where your liberation happens. That is where anymore there is no desire to become. But otherwise, if there is fear, it is deeply inherent. It is in blood. It's very difficult to analyze through in the surface level. Just you can say, I can accept anything. I don't worry about anything. I don't have any emotions. So I don't think about my past. Like that. We say things, but deeply, when we look inside our own behavior, and sometimes you recognize. So that's why through vipassana, we go deeper into that and recognize it. So then yourself remember, little by little, little by little, try to get into that deeper bottom and recognizing the fear, emotions, and the other one is defilement, our past experience. And once you get out of it, you done. So it's come to a done deal with this sansaric journey. So I hope this will help for you. And with this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi diga yuko bhava ittavata ca ammi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.